Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I'm here with another one sheet wonder, but I'm mixing it up a bit. My card size is 5x7. Normally I make A2 size cards, but I've had people request different sizes. I branched out, did some slim lines, and now I'm going to try some 5x7s as well, and I'm just going to kind of keep mixing them all in there, and hopefully that gives you guys a lot of options. I'm going to be using this paper pad from MFT. This is single-sided paper. I'll use 2 pieces and make 2 cards. With this 5x7 design, I show you how to get 1 card out of 1 piece of 6x6 paper. Because the card size is a little bigger, I found it challenging to come up with a design that gave you 2 cards, but I'm sure I'll share some of those as well. You might just be used to the A2 in making 2 cards. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of paper, make 2 cards, and I'm going to mix up the patterns. I'll show you though that I actually think it would look great if I just made a single card with a single sheet, and being single-sided, there would only be 1 pattern. It'll look fine as well. I like to mat my pattern paper. I think that it works better for these simpler cards and layouts, and it helps each element to have a little bit more of a substantial size on the card. But it will leave you some cardstock scraps. You won't have any pattern paper scraps though. I'm going to cut some mats. They're going to be a 1/4 inch bigger than the pieces of paper I cut. These are all on my blog. All the measurements. It's a PDF. You can download it. I'm cutting a 4x6 for my background and then 2 3x2 pieces of paper. Now with this design, you do have to be a little bit careful because if the paper has a strong directionality, then this design won't work. A lot of papers don't though. So I try to share some that work regardless of direction, and then there are going to be some where direction matters a little bit. I mount the 3x2s on 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and I'm going to place them in the center. This is a very, very simple design because again, it's just my first 5x7, and I'm sure there's going to be some similarities in terms of general design between some of my past A2s and the 5x7s that I share in the future, but my focus is always on using up that pattern paper and not so much always about coming up with the most innovative or special design, because a lot of times, those really cool designs leave you with a lot of scraps. So I had picked this blue and yellow. I thought they went really well together, and I did decide to mix them up, although I kind of showed you what they look like if you kept the patterns the same. However, when I went to go to my sentiment, I wanted to add another color. I just felt like if I used the navy, that might look good on the card with the yellows on top, but the yellow, I never find yellow sentiments very readable. So I brought out my color wheel, and I just wanted to show this to you briefly because I think it can be a great tool, and you can get online color wheels. You don't need to have a physical one, but it can be helpful because it will show you colors that go well in like a group of 3 or a group of 4, and you still have to do some of the thought and design and whatever yourself, but I do like having that resource on hand. I decided to go with an orange. And at first I thought I would want this lighter orange, so I cut the 4U out of both. But I liked the darker one, and it was nice that I could kind of try both on the card, but that 4U that was the lighter cardstock, it won't go to waste because I like to layer up my word dies. I'm going to be using a Heffy Doodle Dino Time stamp set. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, none of the supplies I used today are still available. So I'm sorry about that if you do like to, if any of them catch your eye. But my focus on my channel, and I mentioned this before, is just I really want to help you use your stuff, and I want to use my stuff. So you're definitely not always going to see the latest and greatest, and I want to focus on the idea. So for right now, to make stamping these sentiments easier, I have die cut my favorite banner sentiments, and I took that craft piece that I cut them out of. I put a piece of paint or 2 pieces of painter's tape along the back such that the sticky side will show through, and then I can place a new die cut banner in it and place the sentiment down one time but stamp multiple. and I find that to be quite helpful. And it can even be nice to stamp more than you need for the current set of cards if you think it's a sentiment that you'll use again and again. So my whole sentiment says, "For you, you're roarsome," because I wanted to tie it in to the dinosaurs that I would use, but I felt like the "you're roarsome" stamp, like that, just that would have been too small. So I like how the word die adds a big element on a card. I'm also going to stamp a bunch of dinosaurs. This is actually going to be like a really busy card for me in some ways. I'm going to stamp them again on some craft cardstock, which I used for my sentiment, which I used to mat them all. And I stamped in a navy ink. I think it's called Paris Dusk by Memento. I'm going to stamp these in a navy ink too, and I'm going to cut them out, and I'm going to do something that makes me nervous, and I'm not going to color them. Just going to leave them. I love to color, but I also sometimes like to make a quicker card, and I just thought this time, like, it actually, I don't know, I just kind of like the way they looked when I cut them out. I was going to color over the craft cardstock, which gives an interesting look with Copics and colored pencils, but it just kind of looked good to me this time. And so, try that if you like. If you don't like to color, maybe stamping on craft cardstock will give it a more finished look. So that's it for my card today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in more crafting tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I will leave you links to any of the products I can find in the video description below, and some other videos for you to check out here at the end. Thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.